Y'all are just downright splendid. Due to my straightforward nature, I reckon it's high time I admit that the book of Revelation, the last chapter in the New Testament, stands as a truly remarkable work of art. The folks out there have been utterly captivated by the jaw-dropping end-of-the-world sights and deep reckonings laid out in this here book for quite a spell now. Almost every nook and cranny of this here tome is filled to the brim with deep predictions and insights that run through the whole shebang. There ain't no way you can let this chance ride off into the sunset, for it holds a weighty significance that could shape the rest of your days. Well now, partner, let's sit a spell and chew the fat about this fine piece of work penned by John of Patmos, now that we've pondered all that's been laid before us. There's a heap of subjects that get wrangled with in mighty detail throughout the pages of this here book. Among these subjects, you'll find the flicker of hope, the weight of judgment, and the ultimate victory of righteousness over wickedness. There be other times when this here unfolds as the tale rolls on. Is it not a thing you reckon to be a genuine wellspring of inspiration that spurs you on through this rugged journey called life? Can you picture what it'd be like to roam a land where the prophecies of the Savior came to pass? Picture, if you will, what it might feel like to ride alongside folks in a world so unlike our own. When we speak of the joyous return of the Savior, we're also reckoning with the grand construction of a new heaven and earth. This here tale unfolds round both of these matters all at once. This here piece of art lays bare the notions of hope and transformation, shining a spotlight on 'em from start to finish, like a lone rider under the wide-open sky. It's mighty important to grasp these matters fully, for they tell the tale of the times the early church faced and echo the dreams and struggles of Christians far and wide. Both of these elements make it mighty crucial to grasp the lay of the land when it comes to these challenges. A mighty reason for their worth lies in the fact that they stand as a testament to the times when the early church first took root in this rugged land. This here is the reason they stand out in the dust of the frontier. The tales spun within the pages of Revelation gleam like the midday sun, for they stand as a testament to the unyielding promise of justice from above. This here's the reason they hold such weight in these parts. In a land where the mightiest of nations find themselves in a never-ending dance of change, just as the winds shift across the plains, this here matter holds great importance in these times we live in. This here serves as a gentle nudge, a reminder that a grander scheme is afoot, no matter the dust storms that may roll in. It's mighty important to hold on to this truth, come what may. The purpose of this here contraption is to carry out its duty. Revelation is a tome filled with truths that gleam like the midday sun, offering us the fortitude to stand firm in our beliefs amidst a world that often seems like a wild frontier, rife with chaos, confusion, and moral quandaries that are tough to wrangle. Revelation is a tome that holds these truths within its pages. Revelation is the tome that holds these truths, which can be discovered far and wide. Even when the winds blow fierce and the trails get rough, it's mighty important to stay true to the principles that you hold dear in your heart. This holds true, even when faced with mighty trials and tribulations. This here holds true, no matter how tough the trail gets, and it's a fact that ain't gonna change, partner. Round up the whole clan and make sure each and every soul feels the same thrill in their bones. To put it plainly, the truth of the matter is that these lessons are being weighed right now, at this very moment, and that holds a heap of significance. For instance, we find ourselves facing a heap of troubles, some of which are the sorrow of loss, the sting of unfairness, and them mighty big questions about what lies ahead. These trials are faced by a good many folks, and we all feel the weight of them. It seems there's a mighty fine crowd of folks out there wrestling with these troubles, if the reckoning is to be believed. Now's the time to saddle up and ride into this venture together. We ought to get a move on as soon as the stars align just right. Well now, who might y'all be, and where do you find yourselves at this very moment? I reckon I'd be mighty interested to hear more about whether you've ever set your sights on the book of Revelation. I reckon I'd like to lay my eyes on some more details about this here matter. I reckon I'd like to know a mite more about it. In this here stretch of your journey, when the winds of fortune blow hot and cold, This book stands as a trusty companion, ready to offer you wisdom and direction on your path. Without a doubt in this dusty town, that their book is one you ought to saddle up and read right away. When it comes to the choices, values, and significance of life, the revelations found in Revelation turn everything we thought we knew on its head, casting doubt on the very truths we held dear. The good book of Revelation lays bare them truths, scattered like tumbleweeds across the pages of the Bible. There ain't no question in my mind that you're riding down the right trail, that much is certain. Let us draw upon the wisdom etched in the pages of old tomes, as we navigate the shifting challenges that this world lays before us. Our ability to feel for one another, to stand tall in the face of adversity, and to draw from our deep-seated beliefs will all grow stronger from this trial. As a consequence of this, we'll have the chance to tend to our deep-seated spiritual roots. Since we hold this skill in our hands, we'll be able to ride through the troubles that come our way in this wild frontier. When we all band together, we hold the power to forge a path toward many a fine outcome, be it growth or fortune, among other possibilities that lie ahead. A consequence of this here matter is that the teachings found in the book of Revelation hold true for these times we live in. This here is on account of the fact that folks are jawing about this matter. Rather than fixing their gaze solely on the happenings of the present moment, they urge us to cast our eyes toward the horizon, to ponder the future and hold tight to the belief in the fortunes that await us in the years ahead. They urge us to hold tight to our belief in the happenings that lie ahead in the dusty trails of time. Should we find ourselves in a parley, might it be possible for us to chew the fat about the latter days of the first century? In them days, the early Christians found themselves in a rough patch, facing a heap of persecution and turmoil. This here led to a spell marked by a wild degree of chaos. This here time was mighty influential in the early days of setting up the Christian faith. Well now, as a final inquiry, what are your reckonings on the matter at hand that we find ourselves jawing about? In light of these events, the book of Revelation, often thought to be penned by the Apostle John, unfolds against this rugged backdrop. Folks reckon that John was the one who penned their book. This here is known far and wide in many a circumstance. Well now, when all's said and done, that there sure is a mighty fine occurrence. John, a fella thought to be holed up in exile on the distant shores of Patmos, is the one who penned this remarkable tome that foretells the world's final chapter, in line with the whispers that have been drifting through the dusty trails of time. This here book was penned by a fella named John. Out yonder in the Mediterranean Sea lies the island of Patmos, a place that might just be found in those waters. To shine a light on the trials faced by the good folks of the Christian community while they were under the heavy hand of Roman rule, his aim was to stir up awareness of their plight. He penned it in a time when the faithful were under the watchful eye of the Roman Empire. Word has spread fast, and a message of mighty importance has been sent forth without delay. This here book carries a weighty authority, for it comes from one who trailed after Jesus with a heart full of devotion. This here book carries a weighty air of authority, for it comes from one of them who walked alongside Jesus himself. The way he spun tales of the teachings and promises of Christ added a sturdy backbone to the whole endeavor, making it trustworthy as a trusty steed on a long ride. His hold on a range of viewpoints made it possible for him to pull this off. The way he could gaze upon the world from various vantage points allowed him to pull off this feat. To truly understand the tales spun within the pages of Revelation, one must reckon with the times and trials that shaped its creation, for only then can the purpose of this mighty tome be fully unveiled. This here is mighty important to wrangle up a full understanding of what the book of Revelation aims to convey. It ain't easy to reckon just how mighty important this here matter truly is. To all you steadfast souls weathering the storm of hard times and trials, it's mighty important that this here knowledge reaches your ears. For them that hold true, this here tale aims to be both a warning and a spark of hope, lighting the way through the dust and shadows. It's plain as day that the addition of these notions in this here collection of words shows the presence of mighty spiritual ideas that can strike a chord with the folks reading it. The cause of this here matter is that the insights have been woven into the document itself. There be a heap of traits that set these revelations apart from the rest, like the vivid imagery, true-to-life parallels, and one-of-a-kind symbolism that mark these revelations as special. There be a heap of mighty symbols that can stand tall to represent the grand showdown twixt good and evil. These signs can be spotted in a heap of shapes and sizes. The showdown is marked by a host of signs, each one playing its own part in the fray. There be a handful of these symbols that can be spotted wandering through the pages of the good book. One of them is the New Jerusalem, while others include the 7 seals, the creature, and the creature. Furthermore, the matters at hand ain't just a figment of the imagination, they hold the utmost significance, partner. With these two elements in the mix, you'll find yourself compelled to dig deeper, to truly grasp the essence of all that's happening as it rolls out before your eyes. Once you've wrapped up this task, a mighty wave of inspiration will wash over you, like a cool breeze on a hot day in the dusty plains. They'll be holding the reins of responsibility for what goes down, all on account of their presence in this here situation. In the pages of that fabled tome known as Revelation, 2 mighty themes ride forth. One speaks of divine judgment, swift and unyielding, while the other offers a glimmer of hope for those weary souls burdened by suffering. Within the dusty pages of that tome, them 2 messages are laid out and argued over like a showdown at high noon. Both of these claims need to be brought into the fold, as they hold a mighty importance in the grand scheme of things. This here chapter paints a mighty fine picture of that grand moment when divine justice rides into town, setting the stage to show how all manner of wickedness and wrongdoings will one day find themselves humbled, brought low by the hand of justice. This here chapter lays out a fine example of the power that divine justice holds over the matter at hand. As the sun sets on the dusty horizon, this here stands as a stark reminder that one cannot fully conquer the darkness that lurks in the shadows. Even though folks have been yapping a whole heap about judgment, there's a mighty strong message out there that serves as a wellspring of encouragement and inspiration. Alongside being mighty fine, the vow that the Almighty has made to folks who place their trust in Him, that He'll stay true to them and grant them eternal life, is a pledge as remarkable as it is wondrous. Folks traversing the rugged trail of grief might discover that this blend of reckoning and hope can be a mighty source of comfort and drive for them. Them folks wandering through the valley of sorrow might just find themselves in a heap of trouble during this stretch of time. They hold on to a mighty sense of hope that runs deep within their souls, and that's the tale behind this sight-in. It's a mighty fine notion that diving into the whole of Revelation could steer a fella's life down a different trail from that moment on. We find ourselves stirred to reflect on the journeys we've traveled in our own lives, as well as the tales we've spun together in the wake of this event. Since we've walked the same dusty trails and faced the same trials, this here is the fruit of our shared journeys. It sure is a mighty comfort to reckon with the fact that there's a grand force at play, guiding us on the dusty trail toward healing and salvation, even when the going gets tough. This here is a notion we ought to hold close to our hearts as we ride on through the dust and tumbleweeds. We best remember this here, as it holds weight in our dealings. Given that this here matter is of great significance, it's mighty important we don't let it slip from our minds. To keep that faith rolling and put it into action, it's mighty important for us to saddle up and get to work. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse ride forth, embodying mighty skills that sway not only the hearts of men but also the very soil of our beloved earth. These skills could stir up quite the dust and leave a lasting mark. These abilities hold the promise of ripples that can be felt far and wide across the land. These mighty forces ride into view for the first time in the good book of Revelation, a tome that bears the name it is known by, Revelation. The final showdown is bound to arrive, brought forth by the happenings that have just been laid bare. One thing you can reckon is the strength they hold at any given moment. Folks who saddle up possess a distinct brand of traits, along with a meaning that's been handed down through the ages since the very first steed was brought into this world. This here importance has been handed down from one generation to the next, like a trusty old saddle passed from rider to rider. From one kin to the next, this here importance has been handed down through the ages. A pale steed often rides into the minds of folks, symbolizing both triumph and the shadow of disease that looms over the land. Well now, it seems folks round these parts reckon that when the first rider lays claim to the reins, a white steed often rides alongside them, tied to the notions. Could you share how you stumbled upon this here piece of knowledge? Now, partner, reckon it's high time you took heed of this here situation. Possessing the power to send forth an image that is as bold as a gunslinger and as captivating as a sunset over the plains is one of its fine traits. This here second horseman, astride a fierce red steed, embodies the very spirit of what it means to take up arms in battle. He is depicted atop his trusty steed. The way he bows to authority and dons that crown speaks volumes about the mighty swell of power and sway that washes over him. As this event unfolds, it rides alongside the rise of dominionist ideologies and their leaders, claiming their victories in the dusty trails of power. It's a mirror of the harshness and ruin that run deep in the fight that's unfolding, and the mighty blade he grips stands as a testament to the struggle, embodying both the pain and the fight itself. His gaze tells a tale of fierce struggle and deep sorrow, painting a vivid picture of the trials he faces in this very moment. The folks who embody the very essence of hunger are depicted by the third rider, seen galloping on a fine black steed across the vast plains. This here rider embodies the very essence of hunger itself. One can conjure a mighty picture of the wave of suffering and sorrow that sweeps through towns, born from the struggle against want and the uneven distribution of resources, by wielding a set of scales. This here is the best way to wrangle up a visual representation like no other. The fight against want is the root of this wave of heartache and hopelessness that has arisen from the clash. The swiftness and traits of the wave can be showcased mighty fine with the help of scales, partner. Now, let's not forget, partner, that the fourth rider is none other than Hades himself, bringing death along for the ride on that unmistakable pale steed. When all's said and done, this here matter ain't one to be brushed aside, no sir. Given all that's been laid out on the table, it's plain as day that this here matter ain't one to be brushed aside, not by a long shot. There's a heavy weight on the notion that death is the ultimate truth, along with the mighty consequences brought forth by the horseman who rode before him. This here is on account of the way he approaches things, putting a mighty big focus on each of these ideas. Well now, I reckon this here notion is downright remarkable and sheds light like the morning sun on a dusty trail. Y'all are just downright splendid. With the arrival of these horsemen, it's clear as day that the days ahead are bound to be rife with turmoil and disorder. Their presence on this here earth stands as a stark warning that chaos is fixin' to reign supreme in the times to come. The truth of the matter is a clear sign that the road ahead is bound to be fraught with a heap of trouble and strife. It seems that every soul among us is fixin' to face the consequences born from the choices and trials we've weathered in days gone by. This here is a matter we're fixin' to reckon with. We reckon it's high time we saddle up and get this job done. If you could kindly take a gander and make sure everyone's got their seat belts fastened, it'd be mighty appreciated. I'd be mighty grateful if you could see to that, partner. Have you ever pondered the idea that the echoes of yesteryear hold mighty significance in this here and now? Have you ever pondered this here possibility? Well now, have you ever pondered this even for a fleeting moment? I reckon it's high time I tip my hat to you for joining in on this here talk. We find ourselves in a tale that echoes the harsh realities of life, steeped in themes of mortality, hunger, and the relentless quest for dominion. We reckon this is the notion that's comin' our way. Given the way things are rollin', it feels like we're caught up in a tale of old. Every last one of 'em rides along in the fabric of this here story. Right now, we're witnessin' a heap of trouble, with violence runnin' rampant, the economy swingin' like a tumbleweed in a storm, and folks strugglin' with their health. All these troubles have brought us to this here predicament. All them factors have played a part in the rise of this here challenge. Considering the notion that these symbols hold a link to the events unfolding in our world right now, it's a mystery how this could be so. Well now, who might y'all be, and where do you find yourselves at this very moment? It'd be mighty fine if we could sit a spell and chew the fat 'bout the weighty troubles we find ourselves up against these days. Consider, if you will, the predicament we find ourselves in at this very moment. The showdown twixt right and wrong, often called plenty and want, plays out in a myriad of happenings, from the shifting climate to the battles of nations. This here tussle is well known for its dance twixt plenty and scarcity. In the dusty trails of life, these happenings stand as a testament to the eternal struggle twixt right and wrong, a true emblem of the clash that rages on. In light of this here debate, which is currently being wrangled over, one can reckon there's a mirror held up to the human condition in this argument. In every moment, it's mighty crucial to keep your eyes peeled and to be right in the thick of whatever's going down. In this here part of the essay, we're fixin' to take a gander at the many ways the symbolism of the Four Horsemen can shed some light on the troubles we're currently wrangling with. It ain't just important to reckon with the hardships folks endure, but it's also mighty vital to nurture a sense of compassion and kinship among one another. Moreover, it's mighty important to take the necessary steps to keep trouble at bay. Yonder lies the chance for us to stir the dust and bring forth a change in the state of affairs that currently reigns in this world, through the united efforts we've set in motion. In the end, the horsemen stand as a testament to the weighty impact we hold in our hands, shaping the world into a better and more tranquil frontier. They stand as a testament to the value of our deeds, echoing through the dusty trails of time. There's a chance these here things could be seen as a sign of the opportunities still waiting to be found out yonder. Teaming up with one another will surely help us wrangle this dream into a tangible thing, so let's saddle up and get to work on making it happen. Well now, the book of Revelation paints a picture that suggests we find ourselves in the thick of it right now. We're already knee-deep in a time of great trials and tribulations, a prelude to what's to come before the final reckoning in the Almighty's reign takes the spotlight. This here trial shall unfold in the days yet to come. Given the lay of the land, here's how the story goes. As you saddle up for a journey brimming with thrills and adventures, it's mighty important to keep your wits about you and tread with caution. By the words of Jesus in them sacred Gospels, this here statement is a mighty shift in the sands of prophetic time, a real game-changer, I reckon. This here is a sight that can be seen, partner. This here symbol holds weight, for it stands for a stretch of time when folks all around the world will be facing some real hard times and mighty suffering. When all's said and done, one can reckon that this here phrase is a real turning point, shifting the very nature of the game being played right now. Have you ever pondered the notion of bringing a young un into this world of yours? Have you ever pondered on this here matter? Given that it lays the foundation for the fulfillment of the promises made by the Almighty, the time known as the dreadful tribulation holds great importance in the grand scheme of things. Our way of thinking is the bedrock upon which the mighty weight of our time stands tall. The two mighty themes of this tale that folks reckon as the most notable feats born from this yarn are the victory of righteousness over wickedness and the ultimate healing of the world. Word has it that both of these elements came to pass as a consequence of this tale. Folks round these parts reckon that the importance of each of these traits is widely acknowledged as holding the most weighty consequences. You've never stopped to ponder the notion that there might be a certain joy to be found in the wild ride you're on. In every showdown the disciples faced, when the going got tough and the stakes were high, their leader urged them to stay the course and keep their wits about them. Who in tarnation are all y'all, and where might you be set tin your boots right now? In the 24th chapter of the good book of Matthew, there lies a tale filled with mighty incidents, as told by none other than Jesus himself. Jesus takes a gander at a heap of passages, and this here paragraph is one of them. All these misfortunes, from battles and nature's fury to the trickery of men, are telltale signs that the dark times are fixin' to begin. These calamities cover a whole heap of troubles. There ain't a doubt in my mind that this here matter needs a thorough investigation, and I reckon I'm mighty sure of that fact, no question about it. These mighty prophecies serve two aims. First, they spur each and every one of us to hold tight to our beliefs, even when the going gets tough, and second, they ready us for the trials that are bound to come our way. During the rough and tumble of the Great Tribulation, folks will face not just a spell of hardship, but also a mighty trial of faith that'll lay bare the true character of them that place their trust in the Almighty. Throughout the long stretch of the Great Tribulation, this trial will be set in motion. Even though the world finds itself in the shadow of the Great Tribulation, the steadfast souls ride forth, shining bright with a message of hope that echoes across the plains. It sure brings a sense of comfort to know that folks of the faith can find solace in the pages of Revelation, a testament that we ain't ever truly alone on this rugged trail, even when the storms of life are bearing down hard on us. This here is a mighty comforting thing to reckon with. Well now, reckon this here information sure does bring a sense of comfort to the soul. In them times when we find ourselves in the harshest of conditions, this here holds a weight like no other, more so than in any other circumstance that might come our way. On the other side, the might that Christ wields would protect folks from perilous predicaments and persuade them to take up the mantle of his discipleship. It's through a notion that they're kept under lock and key, allowing them to stay safe while standing in the presence of the sacred. Word has it that the righteous folk are ever in the company of the Almighty, and folks reckon they're shielded in a way that's as tight as a locked safe. When folks engage in righteous deeds, the hand of the divine is ever near, offering a comforting and invigorating reminder of that sacred presence time and again. How much ground are y'all covering out there? That right there, partner, is the question at hand. Well, ain't that a sight to behold? I reckon it's high time I remind y'all to hold on to that hope with all your might. Don't let it fade away, partner. I reckon it's high time I draw your gaze to the mighty promise that a fresh heaven and earth will rise up after the tribulation has passed. I ride into town to bring this matter to your notice. I reckon I aim to seize this chance with both hands. We kindly ask that we join forces to uphold our strength and honor in these rugged times. This here vision speaks of bringing that fine repair and a mighty calm into our lives, for that's what it sets its sights on. So, even though the Great Tribulation is a time of harsh trials, it shines a light on the importance of holding onto faith and trusting in the grand design that the Almighty has laid out for salvation and renewal in these final days. I was pondering if you might be acquainted with them 7 bowls of the Almighty's fury laid out in the good book of Revelation. I mean to find out if you had any knowledge about them folks. I was curious about your knowledge of them, so I took to asking you some questions. I was mighty curious about it. In the heart of this tale lies a story of many paths, where the fury of the heavens rains down upon the earth in countless ways. This tale is a grand saga of triumph and calamity, chronicling the many ways the wrath of the heavens is unleashed upon the good old earth. Keeping in mind the aim of this tale is to spin yarns about the various ways folks go about things. That's a mighty important point to remember. Given the lay of the land, there sure are a heap of troubles tied up in this here situation. These bowls are a testament to the final showdown of celestial wrath, and the angels, with their eyes keen as a hawk's, are the ones unleashing them upon the land. When reckoning with the notion that these bowls stand as a testament to the last chapter of divine wrath aimed at disobedience and sin, it's a matter that surely needs to be understood. It ain't just that this remarkable moment shines a light on the weighty matters at hand, but it also underscores the gravity of these issues, partner. Folks who bear the mark of the beast are fixin' to face some mighty harsh reckonings for the misdeeds they've committed. Well now, I reckon it's high time we come to terms with the hard truth that them folks are fixin' to face the music. The first bowl is the one that brings forth them dreadful blisters, a stark reminder of the fate that befalls those who choose to walk the dark path of wickedness. The blisters, they sure are a sight to behold, enough to make a fella shudder in his boots. This here information is being handed to you to give you a clear picture of the lay of the land. Well now, I reckon it's mighty hard to swallow that tale. The second bowl, a symbol of the aftermath, stands as a stark reminder of the grim outcomes that follow in the wake of man's actions. These effects are laid out in the bowl, like a tale told around the campfire. One of them, their options, is the turning of water into blood, and another is the wiping out of all critters that call the water home. Both of these situations are mighty probable, partner. It's mighty likely that a few of these prospects could come to pass. Furthermore, it stands as a grave reminder of the consequences that will follow the choices we make on this dusty trail. In that third bowl, the rivers and springs turn to blood, telling a stark tale of the reckoning that befall those who commit such vile deeds against the lives of the innocent. These reckonings include the final ride into the sunset, the severing of limbs, and other harsh fates. Folks who commit such dastardly deeds find themselves facing the law's iron hand, ready to deliver justice through these here sanctions. The folks in question are responsible for their deeds and must reckon with the outcomes of their choices. These here consequences ain't just about the gallows, but also come in many shapes of payback, along with long stretches behind bars. Furthermore, it stands as a stark reminder of the weighty deeds they've undertaken, a testament to the choices they've made. It serves as a reminder of what they've claimed for themselves. I reckon I'm mighty surprised by this. Is there any chance we could chew the fat about the colossal forces that were present in that fourth bowl? This here is a turn of events that caught me off guard, partner. It's like the sun's fixin' to blow its top, a mighty big explosion of grief settlin' over the land. The creature is mighty confused and bewildered by the time it gets to the sixth bowl, and it's startin' to lose its way in the shadows of the night. This here image serves as a powerful metaphor for the spiritual blindness and the heavy gloom folks face in their lives, acting as a symbol of both these burdens. If I were to reckon that it's truly remarkable, I'd be sellin' it short, partner. In the sixth bowl, the stage is set for the mighty clash that's destined to unfold at Armageddon. This here dish takes the reins, settin' the groundwork for all that follows in the task at hand. This here aim is being achieved by gathering all the nations round the campfire for a good ol' evaluation, which is the way it's being done. Y'all are just downright splendid. Do you reckon it'd be possible for us to chew the fat about that fateful occasion that unfolded alongside the mighty quake and the fierce hailstorm that hit all at once? In another light, it's akin to the pouring out of the seventh bowl, showcasing the utmost measure of divine fervor one could reckon with. Both the fury and the determination are riding high, partner. Moreover, these reckonings carry with them some mighty harsh spiritual consequences, and they act as a powerful call to arms for anyone thinking about wandering off the path laid out by the Almighty. Where in tarnation are all y'all at? Right here and now, we find ourselves in a time that holds great weight, calling for deep thought and reflection all at once. In every grub we lay our eyes upon, there's a mighty clear sign that a change is a-comin' and needs to be made. Well now, partner, let's saddle up and ride out on this journey, making the most of every opportunity that comes our way. They reckon it's mighty important for folks to take a good hard look at the choices they've made in days gone by and ponder how those decisions have shaped not only their own lives, but also the lives of those who ride alongside them in this here town. The grim happenings surrounding them bowls have shone a harsh light on the pressing need to put an end to wickedness right quick. This here truth has come to the surface due to the present circumstances at hand. It's high time we saddle up and ride out to shine a light on the seriousness of the trouble we're facing right now. Well now, you two sure are something special. The choices made in this here situation ain't just about doling out punishment, they also carry the weight of redemption, like a second chance in the dusty trails of life. There ain't a single doubt rattling around in my noggin that this here is the truth. One could reckon that this here path is wide open, a chance to saddle up for some genuine soul-searching and personal growth, if you will. Wishing y'all the best, one and all. Before we ride on into the sunset, let's take a moment to reflect on the trail we've traveled thus far. Thus, it's mighty crucial that we set our sights on fostering a heart of contrition and strive to align our lives with the grand design that the Almighty has laid out for us. This here will grant us a deeper understanding of His justice and mercy, along with the mighty chance of restoration that He offers to us all. If we take this path, we'll surely come to value all these things a whole lot more. The good book of Revelation lays out a tale of a sign, a fearsome mark known as the mark of the beast. This here emblem packs a mighty punch, letting folks know it holds a hell pin of power within its grasp. To put it plain and simple, it's a true testament to a steadfast dedication to a heap of causes that stand in direct opposition to the Almighty. Could you reckon if you might grasp the consequences that could come from taking such a step? There ain't a doubt in my mind that this here matter deserves some mighty careful thought. This here sign, often seen alongside the number 666, stands as a mark of loyalty to the beast, a wicked force that seeks to rule and lead folks astray. It stands as a testament to the vow made to the creature that this mark signifies. It's as plain as day that when a soul chooses to take on the mark, they're set their sights on notions and deeds that run counter to the truth laid bare by the Almighty. This here shows they've chosen to take on the brand. Seeing as how the brand stands as a testament to a person's unwavering commitment to the truth, that's just how it is, partner. That there is a mighty bold claim to make about the trail they've traveled and the experiences they've had along the way. You two are downright splendid. There's a mighty big difference between laying your cards on the table with the Almighty and just towing the line set by the folks in charge down here on earth. This here stands in stark opposition to just following their orders without question. In the pages of Revelation, this matter rides high in the saddle, making its presence known in just about every way a fella can reckon. Can you reckon on whether they're speaking straight or not? Yeehaw! A mighty fine day it is. The taking of the mark of the beast is bound to steer your life down a mighty different trail, and it'll do so with a weighty significance that can't be ignored. For all time to come, them folks who bear the mark will find themselves at the mercy of divine reckonings, cut off from any and all ties to the Almighty. The tale of Revelation lays bare the fierce trials that those branded will endure, shining a light on the grand treasures of eternal life they'll forfeit in the end. It serves as a mighty reminder of the high stakes at play. This gripping warning beckons the faithful to hold fast to their beliefs, urging them to stand tall against the winds of temptation and not to waver in their convictions. Where in tarnation are all y'all at? Now, I reckon it's high time to draw your attention to the perilous trails that come with hitching your wagon to the wrong leaders in this here line of work. There's a heap of spiritual dangers lurking in the shadows, and it's wise to tread carefully, partner. I reckon it's high time I draw your gaze to this matter. Keep your eyes peeled for any lurking dangers, partner, and ensure that your trail stays safe at all times. It sure is a mighty sorrowful sight to reckon with the fact that some folks in charge can lead a whole heap of people astray, driven by a yearning for acceptance, often wrapped up in a web of deceit and trickery. One thing that's mighty important is to keep an eye on the folks we choose to ride alongside. It's a fair bet that their lessons could rattle the very foundations of faith, leaving their followers at risk of facing some mighty serious spiritual trials. Even though their words hold a certain charm and draw folks in, this here event has taken place. Where in tarnation are all y'all at? To keep our town safe and sound, it's mighty important to stay ever watchful and to think real hard about the folks we look up to as our leaders. Keeping an open mind and joining forces to forge decisions that serve the greater good of the situation is a path we ought to tread. To put the spirits to the test and to keep one's boots firmly planted on the truth laid bare in the good book is of the highest importance for those who walk the righteous path. The cause of this here matter is that it's the lone path for Christians to maintain their bond with the good Lord and steer clear of the passing whims that blow in from the outside world. When the sun sets on the horizon, the mark of the beast stands as a powerful symbol of the choices we reckon with, shaping the trail we carve on our spiritual journey for all time to come. The consequences of our actions, partner, are surely the most vital matter we ought to keep in mind. We're fixin' to ride on with our inquiry into this here matter, so I reckon it'd be mighty fine if you joined me on this journey. To put it plain and simple, the book of Revelation holds a mighty importance, and I reckon you're already wise to that fact. In this here tale, the grand showdown twixt right and wrong, known far and wide as Armageddon, takes center stage in the unfolding drama. In the showdown that looms ahead, it's a foregone conclusion that the good folks and the dark-hearted scoundrels will face off in a fierce duel. This here is a sure thing, partner. How much grit have you mustered to even conjure it up in that mind of yours? This grand showdown, often set against the vast expanse near Megiddo, tells the tale of the most significant moment in the saga of mankind. It's a depiction of that fateful instant when the forces of the cosmos unite beneath the flag of the beast, symbolism the mightiest act of human defiance against the heavens above. Do you reckon you got a solid grasp on the level of intensity, partner? Right this moment, the showdown twixt right and wrong stands out clear as day, laid bare for all to see. In the grand expanse of the heavens, a mighty leader rides forth, a king of unmatched glory astride a splendid white steed. Clad in resplendent armor, he brandishes a formidable javelin, a symbol of his triumph over darkness. Christ rides at the head of the celestial posse. The clash that's unfolding twixt the earthly forces, led by the beast, and the heavenly hosts is a showdown of legendary proportions. When we ride into the sunset of this journey that's bound to alter our fates forever, we'll stand as witnesses to the victory of Christ over all manner of wickedness, his light shining brighter than ever in the vast expanse of the sky. When it comes to wrangling those mighty infernal forces, the truth that he wields such a hefty measure of power and command sure makes a mighty difference. He's got the grit to handle them. Through the pages of Revelation, we catch a glimpse of the mighty showdown where Christ rides forth, vanquishing the beast and the false prophet, casting them into the fiery depths of the lake, never to rise again. The lake of fire stands as the final and unyielding judgment for those who tread the path of wickedness. Right now, the time we got on our hands holds the utmost importance. This here victory ain't going nowhere, partner, and it stands as a beacon for the dawn of the everlasting realm of the Almighty, marked by the total vanquishing of wickedness and the unyielding reign of justice from the very start. This latest showdown stirs up some mighty fine and uplifting notions, and it's for all the faithful folks out there in the land. By the grace of its presence here, this stands as a mighty testament to the hope and faith we hold in Christ, doing so with a persuasive and powerful touch. Where in tarnation are all y'all at? Now, I reckon this here moment calls for a reminder, partner. If you hold tight to your beliefs, know that your faith packs a mighty punch and ain't ever wasted, even when the trail gets rough and the dust starts to settle in the face of tough times. Now listen here, partner, it's mighty important that you keep your chin up and don't let that head of yours hang low. Due to the victory of the Savior in the final showdown, folks can rest easy knowing they're bound for salvation and will find a warm welcome in a splendid new world, where they can settle down for all eternity. This here is on account of the truth that they'll at long last be able to settle in this fresh creation. This here is brought about because the good Lord Christ came out on top from the fiercest showdown of them all. This here showdown holds great weight, for it shows the mighty need to turn away from the lures of the world and to keep our faith strong as the sands of time drift on. This here is the very reason why this tussle holds such weight. As a result of this, it grants the faithful the chance to ride into the fray against the shadows, holding fast to the notion that triumph is within their grasp, no matter the odds stacked against them. There's a showdown on the horizon that can't be sidestepped, and the matters at hand will touch on hope, justice, and the mighty triumph of divine love over darkness. The spirit in the air is something you can surely sense, partner. Right now, the time we got on our hands holds the utmost importance. One of the most striking symbols in the book of Revelation paints a vivid picture of defiance against the Almighty and the shadows of wickedness that roam the land. The tumble of Babylon is the tale we're spinning here. Given the sheer beauty of the scene, it sure does make a fella ponder the consequences of ignoring the orders handed down from on high. Babylon, a sprawling town that paints a vivid picture of the deepest pits of moral decay, the shadowy corners of human pride, and the adoration of false idols, has been known far and wide as the fall of Babylon. This city has earned such a reputation, indeed. Can you reckon on their word being true, partner? A thorough account of the deeds and establishments that champion notions capable of leading folks astray from true justice, standing in stark contrast to the will of the Almighty. It paints a full picture of the undertakings and organizations that uphold these beliefs. Babylon stands as a stark reminder, a tale spun from the dust of ages, warning us of the dangers that loom over a society that gets lost in the glitter of gold and the comforts of indulgence. Just cast your eyes upon the mighty strength it wields, the captivating charm it radiates, and the lavish abundance it holds. For you, a wild journey lies in wait. When stacked against the supreme power that the Almighty wields, no earthly force stands a chance in this here showdown. As a stern reminder of the reckoning that comes with such wickedness, this here tale echoes the downfall of Babylon, a cautionary tale of how that great city met its end. In the midst of the dust and chaos, a cleansing of the spirit unfolds as Babylon meets its fiery end, marking one of the most pivotal moments in the tale told within the pages of Revelation. This purging occurs when Babylon meets its fiery end. It's hard not to feel the winds of change blow through your life when you find yourself in the midst of such mighty trials. This here cleansing ain't just about erasing a town from the map, it stands as a testament to breaking free from the clutches of darkness and heralding a glorious rebirth for the faithful. When Babylon crumbles, it signals the end of a long, hard road filled with strife and the thrilling dawn of a new chapter marked by order, fairness, and tranquility. It serves as a powerful reminder that, come what may, justice from above always rides in to restore balance, even when shadows loom large. As you ride through this journey of change, it's mighty important to hold tight to the values of purity and justice, like a true gunslinger stands by their code. By taking this path, you'll find a way to break free from the chains that a crooked world has laid upon you. Well now, I reckon the real question is, how's everyone holding up out there? Let us draw upon the deep meaning found in the fall of Babylon to steer our minds as we pause for a moment to reflect on our own personal values and goals in the shadow of that grand tale. This here talk is on a subject that stirs the mind and tickles the fancy. Y'all are welcomed here with open arms, partners. It's mighty important to carve out a few moments in your day to ponder your life with a clear and honest heart. In the vast expanse of existence, what stirs your curiosity the most? In a world that often mirrors the chaos and indulgence of our surroundings, let us fix our gaze on what truly matters to us, partner. What sort of antics do they reckon to partake in? Could it be that they're on a quest for a connection with the Almighty that runs deeper and lasts longer than a tumbleweed's dance, or are they merely chasing after pleasures that vanish quicker than a cowboy at dawn? For it stirs the souls of folks to hold tight to virtues that shine like the stars above, placing love, honesty, and faith at the heart of their endeavors. This reflection holds great weight, for it inspires the good people to welcome those lofty ideals into their lives. For each and every soul wandering this dusty trail, the fall of Babylon stands as a mighty testament to the importance of the Almighty in our lives. To ride forth, to live with intent, and to forge a fellowship that truly reflects the splendor of the Almighty in a land yearning for hope and restoration is a summons echoing through the canyons. To put it in simpler terms, this here is a call to arms for folks to take action. Picture yourself, partner, as the very change we aim to witness unfold in this vast expanse we call the world. Where in tarnation are all y'all at? Well now, let's gather round and chew the fat about a matter of great importance, like the fateful hour when all of humanity stands before the final reckoning, much like the tales spun in the book of Revelation. What's your take on this here matter? Are you even thinking about the chance of bringing a young'un into this world? I reckon I'm mighty impressed with the strength of the point you're laying down. The weight and importance of this here event ain't to be taken lightly, especially when viewed through the lens of the grand tale unfolding before us. In this here approach, the main aim is to spot the good and the bad traits, while also revealing the tomes that hold the deeds of all folks under scrutiny. To put it plain, this here journey is bound to change the very path of your life as you know it. By shining a light on the notion that divine justice might just be a reality, the vivid picture of this reckoning, which lays bare the weighty nature of making moral choices, beckons us to consider that divine justice may indeed hold true. This here stands as a mighty reminder that the choices we make carry weight like a six-shooter at high noon, and that the hand of fate ain't just real, it's all-encompassing, partner. This here situation serves as a mighty strong reminder, partner. If it ain't too much trouble, reckon you'd be willing to join me in exploring this here matter together? Where in tarnation are all y'all at? Figured I'd saddle up and share a few hopeful musings I got rattling around in my mind about the verdict's outcome. I reckon you'll find them mighty useful. The Christians hold a mighty claim to the land, fortified by the steadfastness of their beliefs and the bright prospects they look to in the horizon. When you place your trust in the good Lord, you ain't just gaining a companion for the long haul, but you're also settling down in a place up yonder, claiming your stake in the eternal life that's been offered to you. What's the measure of how truly remarkable something can be? Due to the mighty sacrifice made by Christ for our transgressions, we find ourselves in a position to look forward to a remarkable reward, one that shall endure through the ages as a fitting tribute for our steadfastness. The truth that Christ has already laid down his life is the wellspring of this confidence, drawn from the mighty and remarkable reality that stands before us. There ain't no doubt about it, partner, every bit of hardship and sorrow you endure in this here life ain't for naught. There's a reason you're riding this trail, partner. In every dusty corner of this wild land, keep your faith strong that justice will ride in on the horizon, especially when the final judgment calls the shots. Stand firm in your convictions, you valiant souls, don't let the winds of doubt lead you astray. Picture a land where every soul walks hand in hand with the Almighty, unburdened by the weight of sin, sorrow, or despair. This here would be a realm that shines bright in every manner, like a sun-kissed prairie at high noon. This here is the vast expanse that you ought to behold in the theater of your mind. Now, reckon that puts things into a mighty fine perspective, don't you think? It sure would be a tough nut to crack, wouldn't it? Now, let's not kid ourselves, partner. If you decide to keep on the same dusty trail without making a single change, the consequences could be mighty harsh. The notion of being cast into the lake of fire stands as a striking image of the eternal divide from the Almighty, a theme echoed in many a passage throughout the good book of Revelation. This here metaphor is laid out in the good book of Revelation. It not only stirs the soul to ponder the deeper truths hidden in all things, but it also keeps you on that trail, riding forth into the unknown. The call to turn from wicked ways and take up the path of repentance hits us hard, like a shot from a six-shooter, reminding us of the weight of our choices. To make certain our hearts ride true with the things that really matter, it's mighty important we take this step. Where in tarnation are all y'all at? I reckon it's high time to tip my hat and remind you that there's still a spell left for you to ponder the many facets of your life and wrangle them into alignment with what truly matters in this here world. We kindly ask for the chance to join forces and forge ahead with positive changes before the final verdict is cast. Where in tarnation are all y'all at? Right now, it's high time we reckon with our lives and the weighty consequences this here prophecy holds for us. It deserves our utmost attention. Well now, it's high time we saddle up and set out on a grand adventure of discovery and exploration together. Are they truly throwing their hats in the ring, working to bring their visions to life, or do they end up falling prey to the siren calls and distractions that cross their path? Well now, good morning to each and every one of you. As we sit around the campfire, pondering the final reckoning that looms on the horizon, let us draw our gaze to the bond we share with the Almighty and the mighty hope and salvation that our Savior, Christ, bestows upon us. It's the grit and determination we put into our own soul-searching and the deep reckoning with ourselves that truly counts in this wild ride of life. Aside from that, nothing else holds any weight. It's mighty important that we rally round and lend a hand to one another as we set out on this journey. The heart of the good Lord's realm, built on the spirit of getting things done, shines bright in this fine gathering, where it's all about taking action and staying true to our principles. This here gathering stands as a testament to the very spirit of the Almighty's realm. Well now, if you were to saddle up and ride alongside me on this venture, would that strike your fancy? The good book of Revelation lays out a grand vision of a time to come, where the Almighty's true aim for humanity is brought to fruition right here on this earth. the writer lays out this grand vision for what lies ahead throughout the whole tale. The faithful are brimmen with a mighty hope, stirred by this fine depiction of the new dawn breaking forth. In this remarkable and awe-inspiring realm, we find ourselves amidst a kind of harmony and beauty that's never been laid eyes upon before. Do you not reckon it's high time to cast aside the old and welcome in the new? This mighty universe is fixin' to change its ways right before our watchful gaze, and it's happening at this very moment. Picture, if you will, a life so splendid it stretches the bounds of what our weary minds can reckon with. Picture a land where shadows dare not tread, where the thoroughfares gleam like sunlit gold, and the entrances are adorned with lustrous pearls. These here are the sorts of joints that roam the land. Out yonder, one can stumble upon places akin to this scattered across the land. What's the measure of how truly remarkable something can be, partner? This mighty new creation stands as a testament to the boundless brilliance of the Almighty, forged as a tribute to that divine glory. It ain't just important to rustle up the old ways, but there's a mighty need to wrangle the whole situation into a new order. In light of its vital role in the grand scheme of things, this here picture ain't stirring up no feelings of sorrow, suffering, or the end of days. Instead, it's as flawless as a prairie sky at high noon, in every way imaginable. Well now, gather round, folks, and let me spin you a yarn bout that there book of Revelation. It sure does promise that the Almighty will wipe away our tears, and ain't that a sight for sore eyes? It's a mighty fine reminder that our troubles will come to a close, and we'll be stepping into a life brimming with joy that knows no bounds. As we cast off the weight of this world, prepare to bid farewell to sorrow and tears in this wondrous new frontier. The presence of the good Lord among His people, offering comfort, guidance, and love, is bound to be the cornerstone of this new creation. Now, listen up, everyone. Did you know that each and every one of us has this remarkable, natural? This here pledge is about setting your sights on what truly counts, rather than getting swept away in the dust of the moment. While the new creation offers a bounty of joy and peace, keep in mind that the trials we face are but fleeting shadows on our path. This way of thinking is all about holding on to hope and grit, reminding us that our current station ain't the end of the trail. Well now, listen up, kind souls. When we stand firm in our beliefs, we can face any storm that blows our way. Have faith in those sacred promises, and brace yourself for a life that's as grand and flawless as a sunset on the prairie. In the end, the vision of this new creation shines bright, inspiring folks to keep on keeping on and trust that the Almighty will see His promises through. Well now, Revelation tells a tale of the mighty triumph of Christ. It serves as a powerful reminder that good will always ride high over evil, bringing hope to our hearts, especially when the going gets rough. So keep your spirits high, folks. Christ is out there, lighting the path even in the darkest of days. Well, I reckon, folks. This theme runs like a steady river through the pages of the book of Revelation, starting from the first chapter and carrying on right to the final letter of the tale. Can you reckon on their word being true, partner? Well now, let me tell ya, this here journey is fixin' to be one for the history books. They know full well that He's fixin' to triumph over sin, death, and all them dreadful forces lurking about. And on account of this, every soul who places their trust in Him can hold on to a glimmer of hope, thanks to this mighty truth. There ain't nothing that can hold a candle to the mighty embodiment of victory and redemption that is Jesus Christ. Well, I reckon there's nary a thing that can hold a candle to that, partner. With the Lamb that was laid low now standing proud, it sure does show the mighty strength that comes from His sacrifice. This here is surely a mighty fine motivator. In the pages of Revelation, there are many moments of victory and promise, showing that in the final showdown, the Almighty's scheme is destined to prevail. All these elements, along with the depiction of the final reckoning, the guarantee of heavenly justice, and the hope for a fresh beginning, highlight the undeniable fact that the Almighty is holding the reins of this here situation. Well, howdy folks. Gather round, 'cause we got ourselves a mighty important matter to chew on. The trials that our Christian brothers and sisters face ain't just happenstance. They're woven into a grander story, one that's leading us toward a glorious future with Christ and His everlasting kingdom. Ain't that just splendid? In light of these truths, it warms the heart to witness folks standing by their beliefs, even when the going gets tough. The mighty promise of Christ's victory gives strength to the faithful, urging them to ride through any trials, heartaches, or unknowns that life may toss their way. Keep that light burning bright, partners. Just a friendly reminder that you ain't alone in this rough terrain. Hold tight to that faith and stay true. You can handle this, no doubt about it. The mighty promise of everlasting life, brought forth by Christ's remarkable triumph, stands tall above all the trials we encounter in this dusty old world. For those who walk the path of faith, this hope ain't just a fanciful dream, it's a lively truth that stirs the spirit in our daily lives. With their trust in Christ, they can face the hardships of this life with a bold heart, knowing they've secured a place in His eternal realm. Ain't that something? Gather round, folks. Let's seize our freedom and spread the wondrous hope that springs from Christ's victory. Together, we can share the powerful tale of His ultimate conquest with all who listen. Howdy, folks. In this here video, we're setting our sights on some mighty fine insights from the book of Revelation. We're bringing to light the incredible hope that believers hold through the ultimate triumph of Christ. You won't want to miss this showdown. We kicked things off by riding into the book of Revelation, exploring why understanding its fierce visions and prophecies is as crucial as a trusty steed in our world today. After that, we ventured into the significance of the Four Horsemen, the Great Tribulation, and the grand battle between good and evil, shining a spotlight on the unyielding clash between corruption and righteousness. We spun a yarn about the fall of Babylon, a mighty symbol of moral decay, and the thrilling promise of a spiritual revival on the horizon. Picture a grand vision of a universe reborn, brimming with positivity and the divine touch. It's a sight to behold, a new creation unshackled from the chains of negativity, overflowing with hope. As we wrapped up our tale, we pointed out that the victory has already been claimed by Christ. Let us not lose our grip on faith, no matter the trials that cross our path. Trust that we shall reap bountiful blessings, with the greatest of all being the gift of eternal life. Now listen here, partner, you ain't gonna find yourself let down in the slightest. We reckon it's mighty wise to dive headfirst into this truly remarkable venture. Y'all won't find a reason to hang your heads low, I reckon. Well now, I reckon y'all are some truly remarkable folks. If them insights struck a chord with ya, we'd be mighty grateful if you'd tip your hat to that subscribe button, give this here video a good ol' thumbs up, and spread the word to your pals around the campfire. Much obliged for your support, partner. I reckon I'm mighty thankful for your help, partner. We tip our hats to you for the assistance you've offered, partner. The hopeful and encouraging word found in the good book is fixin' to reach a whole lot more folks, thanks to the mighty help we'll be getting from your generous support. Joining forces is the secret to forging a well now, looky here, the whole clan's gathered round, to truly grasp the weight of Revelation and the way it can turn your world upside down. You best not overlook the importance of delving into the matters laid out before you. Each one of you, gather round. There's a heap of wisdom just waiting for you. In this here lesson, we're fixin' to explore the realm of prophecy, the journey of spiritual growth, and the unique promises bestowed upon us by the Almighty. This is a chance you won't want to let slip through your fingers. My dear companions, how do you fare? We're mighty grateful that you've chosen to ride alongside us on this remarkable trek through the pages of Revelation.